want you to think about this. Something with the capabilities of traveling light years, not showing a heat signature, the energy capabilities of that would put the...
Now you see that he said with no heat signature, right? So that means that if that last video that I just showed y'all was a thermal camera, why did it show that UFO, UAP going inside of whatever it was going inside of if it doesn't have a heat signature and can travel faster than what our eyes can see? Just saying, man, a lot of stuff just don't make sense. If he's saying that, what's up, what if us? Welcome back to the channel. I know I've been absent and posting, guys, but I got to be honest with you. I had to take a break from YouTube. There was a lot going on outside of YouTube that had to be taken care of, and just sometimes you just need a break from YouTube, because when you record, you edit, put the videos together, get the thumbnails together, that is a lot. That's a lot, and with whatever you have to do outside of YouTube. But I'm back. I'm going to try my best to stay consistent as possible. Still got a few things going on. And plus, you know, the holidays are here too. So y'all bear with me, but we finna get right into these videos, so stay locked in.
President Biden getting criticized from both sides of the aisle for pardoning his son Hunter after repeatedly saying he would never do it. And a lot of people are saying that it's hypocritical, etc., as if the other side doesn't do it. But what's your reaction to it?
I mean, I think all of the criticism is valid because, you know, Democrats stand on this moral high ground all the time. And, you know, they act so self-righteous. The reality is he didn't have to say anything in regards to, you know, whether or not, you know, his son wanted to be pardoned. He could have said, hey, man, I'm not focused on that right now. But since they were calling Trump a threat to democracy, and they were saying that, you know, nobody's above the law, but they were speaking about him. That's what they were running on. So when he kept saying things like, oh, you know, nobody's above the law, I respect, you know, the jury's decision in regards to my son, he didn't believe that. But he didn't have to volunteer that lie to begin with.
I'm going to stop you for a second.
Uh-oh.
Only because you don't know that it was a lie. We don't know why he changed
You really think he just changed his mind over Thanksgiving weekend all of a
No,
sudden?
I'm going to tell you what I think.
Okay.
Yeah. I think he changed his mind because he got sick of watching everybody else get over. And he did, and this is just...
Get over on what, actually? See, that's why I feel that politics have gone to pick sides, because it's now saying, oh, the Democrats are this or the Republicans are that, while little old me, independent, is in the middle, like, neither one of y'all hold yourselves accountable, but you point the fingers. Nobody gets together and comes up with solutions. I don't understand it.
Just my feeling, because at some point you get to the place where you just go, so I'm just going to follow the straight and narrow always, because that's what's expected of Democrats.
But that's their fault. They're the ones that go out. They're the ones that
listen.
go out there and they stand on this moral high ground.
Listen,
they don't have to do that.
I'm a Democrat. Tell me what the moral high ground is.
The moral high ground is nobody's above the law. I respect what the jurors are saying. He don't have to do that.
So we're mad at him because he changed his...
Oh, no. By the way, I'm not mad at him pardoning Hunter Biden.
But you sound like you're
No.
If I could get in on this, I actually think it went further, and this is one thing we really disagree on. Joe Biden made a point of saying we stand by our institutions and the impartiality of the Department of Justice. Democrats ran on that. The same DOJ indicted Hunter Biden. How we shouldn't be saying it's corrupt like Donald Trump does, but then in his statement pardoning Hunter Biden, he says that it was a political pursuit by his own Department of Justice.
Explain to me why?
Nah, I get it. He shouldn't have said that he stood by the institution and all these different things, and he held himself in such high regards in terms of supporting the judicial system, right? So by pardoning his son, he literally redacted everything he said and went back on what he stood on. He was supposed to stand on that, and he didn't. So that's the problem. Yes, Trump did it, and we know Trump made some shitty pardons. We know that. But he also made some good ones. Trump never said that he agrees with the judicial system all the time. He never said that. That's the difference.
It is that when Joe Biden does something, everybody clutches their pearls. He's wrong.
Nobody
he lied.
Criticized Donald Trump more than me or Charlemagne.
I'm sorry. Yeah, people have criticized him more. I've criticized him more. We've all criticized him more. But you're missing my question. Okay. My question is, what is it that makes people flip out with Joe, but we don't have the same kind of thing.
Well, I don't think people are flipping out with Joe. I think Democrats are flipping out with Joe because Democrats believe that they don't represent what he's currently representing. But that's just not true. That's why I say they stand on this moral high ground that simply does not exist. And I think this is also the problem when we pick sides, right? We've turned political parties into teams. I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan. Ain't nobody more delusional than me, right? Okay? I feel like we're going to the Super Bowl every year, but I'm not delusional. Well, no, that is delusional. But when it comes, but when it comes to political parties, if you pick a side, right, if you say you're a Democrat, if you say you're a Republican, you refuse to be objective about anything.
That's why I'm an independent.
Yes, but
I think that's the best way to go.
But that's not a monolith. We're not, Democrats are not a monolith.
But why can't you say when Democrats are wrong? And why can't Republicans say when Republicans are wrong?
I'll tell you when Democrats
are wrong. So you don't think Joe Biden is wrong?
No, I don't. And can I just point this out to you? The president has a pardon power, right?
I didn't say you were ridiculous, Ms. Goldberg. I would never. I said that. I just think that.
Think about it. Just think about it this way. Just very quickly, can you reframe it in this way? Think about it maybe in this way. The president has the ultimate pardon power. Every president has done this, right? Yeah. And so what people are saying is that Joe Biden is now a liar, as opposed to Joe Biden is someone who now knows that the person that is going to be in the White House is on a revenge tour and his son is on an enemies list. And so he is using his rightful power, his rightful political power, to pardon his son. Now, is that a lie, or is that perhaps being pragmatic, having a change of opinion, as opposed to the president-elect who has lied almost 40,000 times during his first term?
Well, I can't say what it is because I'm not in that.
Well, I would think it's childish to even be going on a campaign of just doing stuff out of spite the fact that you are losing the seat in the White House, right? That's childish, and he's too old to be acting like that. Just make it a peaceful transition and keep pushing. That's how I think, man. I don't know.
Moral high ground. Like, what's the full outrage?
Neither one of them have the moral high ground. That's what I'm trying to get everybody to understand. But when you are a diehard Democrat or a diehard Republican, you refuse to be objective about the other party. Like, it's like we're watching them do something wrong, but we're making excuses for it. We watch Republicans do things wrong, and they make excuses for it. Why can't we just all be objective and call it what it is?
Because it's not balanced.
the same.
That's what happens when you get somebody who actually is going to speak against them and challenge them. They don't have anything to say.
I literally think my daughter is my mom. I know, it's funny. It sounds so weird, but like my mom passed away 15 years ago. I had my first daughter, and I conceived her on the week that she passed away 15 years ago. So the same month, the same week, maybe even the same day that I conceived her was the day that she passed 15 years ago. So that's one thing. The second thing is they look literally identical. Like, I look at my daughter and I'm like, oh, hey, Barbie, because my mom's name is Barbara. I literally think, she's smiling. I literally think that she's Barbara. And one time I was telling my boyfriend this. I was like, she literally reminds me of my mom. I honestly think that she's my mom. And I said, aren't you Barbara? And my daughter literally went, like, she shook her head. Yeah. Hey, Emma. Hi, Emma. Barbara?
But this next video is even better proof.
This is the first time showing Errol this picture. I want to see how she reacts. She's touching her own face. What the fuck? Is that your... Errol, who is that? Is that yours?
Nah, I believe in reincarnation. That baby's been here before. Maybe she is her mom's spirit, or she could be her mom's spirit. I don't know. But I believe in reincarnation for sure.
In the fucking trees! What the fuck, bro? What the fuck? Those are fucking there, bro! Over here, bro! Oh my god, bro! Oh.
Baby, don't move. I'm outside the truck. Don't move. There's a shit ton. Oh my god.
It's behind the houses now. Bro. Hey, I'm gonna go forward. You see them, bro? You see them? Over there, bro.
My heart's pounding.
People are really scared. I mean, I probably would be super excited if I saw it, But being scared, I wouldn't be scared. And the reason why is because if they wanted to hurt us, they would have done it by now, right? Wouldn't you think so? As much and as long as they've been in our atmosphere, don't you think they would have hurt us by now?
Don't move, please.
In the fucking trees! What the fuck, bro? What the fuck? Guys are fucking there, bro! Over here, bro! Oh my god, bro! Oh.
Baby, don't move. I'm outside the truck. Don't move. There's a shit ton. Oh my god.
It's behind the houses now. Bro. Babe, you want me to pull forward?
Congressional Black Caucus members see Trump's mass deportation promises as an affront to Black Americans. Well, I can speak for myself as a Black American, and I'm not offended by this at all. What does mass deportation have to do with me? I can't be deported anywhere, and nor can anyone in my family or any other Black American for that matter. This has nothing to do with us. I see y'all still haven't learned your lesson from the past election. Haven't learned the damn thing, and it's been 2 weeks now. Just seen a video not that long ago of a sister telling Black Americans we need to start walking around with papers in case they try to detain us. That's how I know that sister had to be an immigrant, because most Black Americans are already doing that. We walk around with papers in the form of a state-issued ID or a driver's license. And if we don't have a driver's license or a state-issued ID, we have birth certificates, fingerprints, and a social security number that can be pulled up on the local, state, and federal level in case we're accidentally detained, which I doubt will ever happen. So they still doing the fearmongering shit. And then most of the Congressional Black Caucus members, most of them are immigrants anyway. So yeah, this is basically their pathetic attempt to get Black Americans to put the cape on and fight for them. Nah, I'm good on that. You can fight your own damn battles. When we need help with shit, everybody's sitting around twiddling their damn thumbs. We always throwing the cape on for everybody. So guess what? Nah, this ain't my fight. Y'all can have that. Y'all take care of that. It's not an affront, nor is it offensive to either of us, because it's not going to affect us in any way. We gonna be right here where our ancestors have been. So yeah, y'all can stop with this crap already. Just stop.
Nah, I agree with the brother, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because if it's one thing, if y'all know me and that have been watching me for a while, you know I hate fearmongering, and that's all people do, and that's probably why this channel is stuck where it is, because I don't do fearmongering. That's one thing I won't do. I will not do that, and I am a citizen here. So them trying to convince me that Trump's deportation law is going to affect me and mine, when I know that my family have been here for generations upon generations, yeah, you got to be kidding me. You got to be kidding me. I'm not worried about that. I'm actually happy that he putting forth the deportation law so we can get back to some normalcy here in this country. That's great to me.
This is pretty crazy. Apparently, the actual president of El Salvador posted this video last night, saying that police intelligence has determined that a group of gang members are hiding in the 10 de neighborhood in San Marcos, San Salvador. Today, in the early hours of the morning, we've established a security fence throughout the colony with 2,000 soldiers and 500 policemen to extract every last gang member found in the area. I'm telling you right now, like, El Salvador doesn't mess around when it comes to enforcing the laws, because they've had such a serious issue with gang violence, and they're just like, we're not playing this game anymore. We're done. We're done doing this. We're gonna extract this at the root.
Whoa, now what's happening with y'all out there? Check this out. Here we go again. If it ain't one thing, it's another. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Listen, so South Korea president declared martial law on his people, right? Then the folks go into an uproar. They trying to break into government buildings. They fighting with the army. They just doing all kind of shit, chaos, right? So the government says, nah, he can't do that. So let's vote. They get majority of the vote. They try to overturn it, but guess what? The president gets the last say so. So then the president's like, you know what? Let me pull that off the table. All the citizens calm down. Martial law is not in effect. Everybody going about your merry way. Now this is where it started getting strange at. So the U.S. has over 30,000 troops in South Korea. South Korea is one of the U.S. main allies. They do all kind of business together. The problem is, how come Joe Biden didn't know that shit? How did the United States not know that this president was finna do that type of shit when you got such a strong foothold in that fucking country? I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's chaos over there. The folks over there is terrified, and the president is too. You know why? Because North Korea is doing a lot of shit. They blowing up bridges. They shooting motherfucking rockets across that bitch. They doing military exercises. They dumping trash in that motherfucker. And Kim Jong-un is doing business with China and fucking Russia. They moving in a different way. Shit getting dangerous, right? So you got that major problem right there, right? Now over there in Jersey. Now this is where it's finna get crazy, because that's why I tell y'all to keep your head on the swivel and pay attention to everything. So in Jersey, you have hundreds of drones for damn near a whole week or two been flying in the motherfucking air, right? People been complaining about that shit, saying that they just been sitting there for hours every night. Some of them big as planes, some of them the size of fucking cars, hovering, right? The United States said they doing an investigation. They don't know what it can be. They know what it is. Because let's go back, let's rewind a little bit. You remember when that motherfucking Chinese balloon floated through him and it stayed up there for a couple of days, and then they had to end up shooting that shit down? See, that was just a balloon. And that balloon floated over there by the sea, and they waited till it got over there to shoot it down, so just in case it fell on somebody else or had anything in it. Well, China, Russia, whoever shit that is, was like, okay, we're going to send drones this time. Now, if it's 100 of them and you shoot down one, that leaves 99. What's in those drones? Could they drop something down and hurt people? Could they spray something in the air? What could it be? Could it be leave the world behind? I'm going to tell you something, man. Something serious is getting ready to come to the United States, man. Joe Biden and Kamala Harris done fell asleep at the wheel, folks. This country and a whole bunch of other countries are into some major shit. That's why I tell y'all, man, pay attention, keep your head on the swivel. The closer we get to January, the worse this shit fucking becoming, man. Now, they got them motherfuckers hovering around, and they got people thinking, oh, them aliens, them ain't no fucking aliens, folks. That shit is real. That shit come from somewhere else. And ain't no telling what's strapped to the motherfuckers, man. So if y'all sitting there watching that shit, I'd be moving the fuck out of Jersey. To be honest. If these motherfuckers can't tell me what this is, I'll be getting the fuck up out of there. Hey, man. Y'all better pay attention, man. Shit getting real. And again, this is for entertainment purposes only. These are just my thoughts. Y'all step out there and get it out the mud.
They're thousands of miles away across the water. We literally here in the U.S. don't know what's going on over there. There could be martial law, but then again, there might not be martial law. We don't know. It could all be propaganda, possibly. And for that guy to say that, okay, those UFOs or UAPs that people have been seeing were some sort of drones, it's still fear-mongering, bro. It's fear-mongering, and I don't like it. I mean, it's one thing to warn people, but you should disclaim in the video, these may or may not be this or that. He said strongly, that's what they are. You don't know that for sure, you know? So that's one thing I don't agree with. I don't know if that's an infrared camera or a thermal camera, but I will say this. You have to be careful with what you view these days. Although that may look real, I mean, we've seen movies that look way more real. And I'm not saying that, extraterrestrials ain't real. What I'm saying is that they are an advanced civilization. They wouldn't allow themselves to be seen. If they come here on a mission, they wouldn't. It just don't make sense.
I want you to think about this. Something with the capabilities of traveling light years, not showing a heat signature, and the energy capabilities of that would put the...
Now you see that he said with no heat signature, right? So that means that if that last video that I just showed y'all was a thermal camera, why did it show that UAP going inside of whatever it was going inside of if it doesn't have a heat signature and can travel faster than what our eyes can see? Just saying, man, a lot of stuff just don't make sense. If he's saying that, and we just saw that on what looked like a thermal camera, and he just showed what a thermal camera looked like, it ain't adding up.
Pentagon out of business, we wouldn't be fighting these worthless wars overseas over oil, and American boys and girls wouldn't be dying. It would put the war pigs out of business, and they'd have to go somewhere else, and I'm all for that. I'm all for that. I think what's going to happen now, the floodgates, other people are going to say, I've got some information, I'd like to come swear in. I've seen enough, and I would hope that you all would get that opportunity to see what we've seen.
It's so evil to think that our own government would go along with this mess to keep us in this dang box of delusion and repetitiveness. Like we'll never know the truth, whether they exist or they don't. But I know what does exist is technology to make them look like they floating around in our atmosphere. I know those things actually exist. There are patents for these things. And there also are patents for UFOs and UAPs.
Actual felonies? Because I'm pretty sure that
he was stacking charges and rearranging the things just to make it fit a case. No, I think the case is nonsense. Every real estate person in New York does what he did. Nobody's ever been charging us.
Those felonies did nothing to stop Trump from running.
No, in fact, they made him more relevant.
Did that backfire?
Sure did.
And that was that Alvin Bragg's choice to do that? Or yeah. Why?
Because Alvin's very ambitious.
What do you mean?
He wants to be, something. I don't know what. Mayor. I'm not saying what he wants to be, but I know he's not happy just being the DA in New York County. So this is like before he decided to prosecute Trump. Did you know who he was? You did now.
What was the point of even doing it then?
To make him a convict.
To make him what?
A convicted felon.
Well, if you can still run for presidency and...
Yeah, but it affects his candidacy.
Well, if y'all heard that, then y'all know this is exactly why Trump's indictments were overturned, because it was all politically motivated. They didn't want him to become president. The evidence is there. Some believe it and some don't. And those who believe it, they know.
In America, 60% of the shootings, robberies, and the homicides are committed by black people, often against other black people. You can't blame it on poverty. You can't blame it on racism. It is the breakdown of the nuclear intact family, and neither side is talking about it.
Let me ask you a question. What do white people do wrong?
What do you mean, what do white people do? I'm not worried about white people. I'm worried about what's going on with us.
But if there's systemic racism in this country, which we know it is.
No, I don't say there is. You say there is. I don't believe it.
Have you ever heard of the term Nick wake-up call?
No.
It is an incident where a person of color forgets that they are of color and are reminded by an unexpected act of racism.
I'm acutely aware, Charlemagne, that I'm a black person, just as you are a black person. And when Joe Biden insulted you by saying, you ain't really black, we don't know whether or not you want to vote for me or vote for Donald Trump, and Joe Biden has lied for decades about his civil rights record, claiming that he desegregated movie theaters and restaurants in Wilmington, Delaware, when he didn't do any of that, and he came in here and told you aren't even black and let you think a certain kind of way. It seemed to me that should have been a wake-up call for you, but it wasn't, apparently.
You don't mess with Larry. Do not.
Yeah, Larry Elder, just that dude. I'm sorry, man. Like, he just ate Charlemagne the God up because Charlemagne thought we forgot about that. You let, and I said that on his channel, he allowed Biden to tell him he wasn't black. Boy, if that wasn't a wake-up call, you sure didn't catch it.
Let me be clear. There is going to be a mass deportation. We're not waiting till January. We're already talking. We're already planning. We're going to put a plan in place and secure this nation at the highest level it's ever seen. It's a felony to knowingly harbor and conceal an illegal alien from immigration authorities. Don't test us.
So if the government came out and told y'all that it's aliens in the ocean, aliens are real, think about what else they ain't telling y'all.
The government has came out and told us a lot of things. Does it mean it's true? No. So just because they say something about aliens, we just supposed to fall in their lap and believe it? I don't think so. That's just me, though.
Think about what they didn't tell you about them aliens, who they really are. And after you think about what they didn't tell you about them aliens, then think about if the aliens been here the whole time, why they ain't never harm us? See what I'm saying? Now they gonna play it like it's a threat. And then think about why is they keep on building all of these robots? Who they finna fight? Is that the real war? Now think about a lot of shit now, because it's all gonna add up. A lot of people been going through portals and all other types of shit. They been hiding shit like this, which is, it's all been documented and all of that shit. It's just a lot of people don't go and look it up. Think about what else that your crazy ass don't know, because you ain't out here listening. Until these motherfuckers come out and tell you, now all of a sudden, you want to start believing shit. It's more to everything in its existence that your eyes ain't never see. But if you finna see it soon.
We not finna see nothing. We've heard videos like this a countless amount of times, and nothing has happened. Like, is people ignoring that?
So it looks like we have a massive blizzard coming to the Carolinas, and at what cost? Because it's going right to Asheville. Kind of weird, right? So this is done by Into Thin Air. I've been watching him for a while. He's always on point with this kind of stuff. And he's saying that I think the 10th and 11th of December, that we'll be getting 8 to 12 inches all the way down to Georgia as well. So all the way up here, all the way down to here. But then again, Asheville. Do you know what's going on in Asheville right now? If you don't, you should probably go search it. And I'm about to show you something else very odd as well. The temperature changing in broad daylight out of nowhere. And I don't know where y'all are, but where I am, it's literally in the 20s. I mean, they keep saying it's getting hotter and hotter, but look at this. This is not normal for South Carolina. In December, it doesn't seem like it's getting warmer. It just seems like every category of storm is getting worse first time of the year. And something in Tennessee is changing the weather. So this dude was hanging outside. It was a clear day. And all of a sudden, this great smog comes up, covers the sun, and drops it 10 degrees. One thing is for sure is that Asheville has way too much to handle. And the weather this year has been completely erratic.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they targeting Asheville like that. But there was some talk about it being rich in some sort of mineral. I think I spoke about it on one of my last videos. And that could be the reason why, but why would they need to freeze it, though? I understand why they would want to wash it away, but why would they want to freeze it?
You had life, but you did 33. And didn't Trump commute your sentence?
Yeah, he commuted the federal sentence.
The federal sentence.
The state sentence, I did 23 on. And actually was found innocent of that case. But I did the time and was released through the board. They didn't have a mechanism in there for actual innocent, but they let me go after 23 years.
How did you even know about your situation? Or like who put him on to it?
Okay, well, first of all, we got to back it up so you can see the context, see this in full context.
Okay.
So when Obama was in office, I put in a request. I was transferred to the federal system in 2012. And so at the end of his term, I put in a request for relief, for clemency. Didn't hear nothing back. And when the second term, I put in another request, basically laying out all the work that I had done while I was incarcerated. You know, I had created a lot of financial literacy courses, self-help classes while I was in state prison. So the second time, my mother was dying, and so I put in a compassionate release. Didn't hear anything about it. So I had already created a record for requests. And so when Donald Trump, when the president was leaving, I put in a request to him, and Alice Johnson was working with him, and she got wind of my petition and read it and says, this man had done too much time based on the circumstances. And she took it to Ivanka Trump and Jared, and they took it and lobbied it to the president. And after 4 attempts, people kept trying to push it down. This is what I heard later. He just went through it and says, no, I gotta let him go. This guy did too much time here. Did the work. Don't make sense why he's in prison.
Well, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna leave it here. Yes, Trump has an unbelievable record and reputation of releasing and giving black men clemency from prison, right? And although some may argue when he said what he said about Biden giving clemency to his son was hypocritical, y'all got to take into account that Trump understands this one thing. He understands that black people, although the narrative that has been painted about young black folks are thugs and don't want to do anything else, Trump understands that most of those young men are victims of their environment. Am I saying that they shouldn't go to jail? No, I'm saying they should go. But what I'm saying is he understands that most black kids born in most of those environments aren't really given a chance at life. The first thing they see when they walk out their front door is drugs, violence, and killing. Granted that the parents were able to make a life for themselves and move out of that, which is not always possible for every black person. He understood that. And he know that that man was in prison for a very long time. And he should have understand, or at least understood, that he messed up and he should be given a second chance at life while he only has half of that left on his earth, right? I would do that if I was president. Not just for black people, because even though we know that majority of the prisons are filled with majority of black people, let's not get it twisted. There's white people in there too, right? And a lot of white people are victims of their environment, because not all white people live with and born with the silver spoon. I'm cool with a lot of them. A lot of them are forced to make bad decisions at young ages that end up getting them locked up in prison for unseen amounts of time, right? And a lot of them become friends with black people that are in prison, and they understand they both have a common enemy. But see, the white people who have never been through that, or who have been born with the silver spoon in their mouth, or who are rich and who just has no sense of struggle, right? They don't understand that. They feel like everybody should have chose the road that they chose. But Trump understands not everybody does that or has the road set in front of them to make those choices. Trump was born in New York. He probably grew up around a bunch of black people. So his understanding of people, period, it's not just black people, is one that I am personally thankful for. Because imagine if we had a president who didn't understand it. We did have one, and he's going out with a bang because he's whining and crying like a little baby because he's got to make a peaceful transition. But it won't be peaceful, right? Because you see the way he's acting. So I'm just saying, I'm grateful for Trump. Whether his skin color was white, black, or brown, that never mattered to me. What mattered was his morals and his principles, basically his integrity. And he has a lot of that. I don't know if y'all see that, but he does. And I stand on integrity. I believe integrity. I think integrity is the most important thing a person can have for me to deal with that person. I can rant, but I won't. And with that being said, do what you will with that information. And hey, if you like what you saw, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell. Get in the description, follow all my social medias. And remember, challenge the argument and not the person.